What's up guys, Dan here. Today I'm going to talk about the 5 biggest mistakes that people make that will literally destroy your Amazon business if you're not careful and if you don't know them, alright? So let's get started. So it's actually going to be more than 5 because I want to cover the biggest mistakes. There's about 6 or 7 and there's 5 main ones. So let me just start the video by saying that Amazon FBA is not hard, okay? So as you can see, it's a step-by-step process, it's a formula. We've already established that with all of the other videos on my channel, and clearly it's just, step 1, step 2, step 3 kind of thing. You find a product, you create a listing, you find a supplier, all this stuff, you get it into Amazon, and then you launch the product, and then you run PPC, and then you actually start getting customers and start making money, and then slowly build out your brand. So that's basically the whole principle of Amazon FBA. That's how it works. So it's not very hard. It's a step-by-step process that, just like any other income stream, if you follow it, and obviously if you have a mentor, then you get to 6 figures a year, 7 figures a year, whatever income level that you desire, you get to, because as an entrepreneur, the beautiful thing is you control your income. But there are mistakes with Amazon, just like with any other income stream. If you're trying to do this stuff on your own, maybe with free videos, without taking a course, there are certain mistakes that I don't want you to make that I've personally made. I haven't made all of them, but I personally made some of them. I've learned from them and I haven't done them again. And it's the common mistakes that I see subscribers making, that I see my students making. Let's say they're sending me products for me to look over and I can clearly tell it's restricted or banned or something like that, which is one of the mistakes we're gonna get to in this video. It's just the same mistakes over and over again, all right? So for sure, I'm gonna prevent you guys from making those mistakes, and that way you're gonna maximize your chances of actually making money and making this work for you to live your dreams, have financial freedom, and truly live your life. So let's get started. So the very first mistake is investing into a product that has an extremely low price point. So what an extremely low price point is, I would say below $11, okay, below $12, but even then you can make a tiny bit of profit. But I would say that any product that's like $9.99 or below, never invest into that. Never invest into that, because one of the reasons, actually, if you're gonna price a product below $10, so let's say you're looking at a product, it sells well, it has great demand on Jungle Scout, and it's $9.97. That's the price point that you see your competitors are pricing it at. The problem with that product is that you run a risk that Amazon's actually gonna make it an add-on product, and what that means is that customers are gonna have to add more than $25 worth of other products to their cart before they can actually get prime shipping on your product, before they can actually buy your product, which is very, very bad, okay? And I didn't know that before. So that's why you never wanna invest into a product that's below $10, because you run the risk of Amazon making it an add-on product, and then your only option is to increase the price to $11 or $12, and then that will make it not an add-on product. But the problem with that is that if your competitors are pricing it at below $10 and you're pricing it above, you're obviously not gonna sell. People are just gonna buy the cheaper price. And then anything that's, in the $12, $13 range, that is kind of risky, because there's just not enough margin. Unless you're finding a product that's literally $1 sourcing costs, so including shipping and everything, to get to the Amazon warehouse. So all the way from China, they make it and everything, and then they pack it up and ship it to Amazon. If it's $1 or less, then yes, there might be a profit. It will still be below a 50% margin, but there's just not enough profit. And the thing is, when your profit per unit is below, I would say $7 or $6, it starts getting hard to be profitable on things such as PPC, which is Amazon advertising, and you would just have to make way more sales to make the money that you want to make, right? So let's say someone is selling a product that's a $12 profit margin per unit, and then you're selling a product that you found is good, it sells well, high revenue, except the profit per unit is $6. You would have to sell $6 per unit. You would have to sell twice the amount of units to make the same amount of money. So obviously that's inefficient, right? And I want you guys to get to the highest level of income, your highest potential that you possibly can. And the best way to do that is by finding products that are above $15, I would say. So the perfect range would be about $19, $20, $23, even $25. $30 is good, but then obviously as you go up, then the cost of sourcing these products from China gets high as well. So you're looking at maybe an $8 sourcing cost, and not everybody has that starting capital, so it'd be much more than $1,000 to source. So that's the first mistake. Don't invest into a product that's below $12 unless you're absolutely sure that even with a $6 profit margin, you calculate it and everything. You can go ahead and watch some of my other Amazon videos on this channel. There's a video on how to calculate your profit margin. So if you watch that video and you figure out your profit margin is about $6, but you're expecting to sell like 3,000 units a month, then it might be worth it, because $6 times 3,000 obviously is $18,000 a month in profit, which is a lot. That's multiple 6 figures a year just from that one product, right? So it depends. You have to weigh it out, but me personally, I would always go for higher profit margin products. And in terms of a percentage, if you guys know profit margin percentages, I don't invest into anything below about a 50% profit margin. So anything above, that's good. Anything below, I wouldn't invest into it. So mistake number 2, a lot of people do this, pricing your products too low, okay? So when you actually invest into a product, you don't wanna be the guy that comes into the market and then just undercuts everybody like crazy. You don't wanna be that person. Why? Because Amazon, the price on Amazon, how customers see it, it's all about perceived value. So what that means is, in general, in society, when people are browsing Amazon and they're looking at the prices of things, right? Or anywhere in society, when people are looking at prices, if the price is very high compared to, the rest of the market, they automatically assume that it's some kind of premium product and that the value of that product is probably matches the price or else why would they price it that high? It's probably good quality. So they have this automatic bias and that's called perceived value. So people buy always anything based on perceived value, what kind of value they perceive in their head, what kind of value it is to them, not on the actual value, all right? So you don't want to be that guy that comes in and then let's say the average cost of a product in your niche, your competitors are pricing at about $20. You don't want to be the guy that comes in at $11 or $10. First of all, not a lot of people are going to buy because they're going to be sketched out by the extremely low price. People are tired of buying Chinese crap, Chinese garbage, so they kind of trust Amazon, and that's why you want to private label things because you want to make it look the best possible, you want to have the best possible branding, and you want to kind of relate it to, make it look as if it's like a brand that you would find in Walmart or something like that. Make it look good, not some cheap Chinese counterfeit stuff. So that's why you never want to come in at an extremely low price compared to everyone else. First of all, you're not going to make any money because people are going to, they don't want to buy cheap crap, especially online. People are willing to pay more. All right, so the third biggest mistake that people make on Amazon is investing into restricted, gimmicky, trending, or seasonal products. And there are ways of telling whether your product is obviously trending, seasonal. I show all that stuff on this channel. There's a ton of great videos that will show you how to check if a product is trending, how to make sure the product isn't seasonal, and if it isn't, it's for sure in my course, in the Amazon Freedom course. The link for that is in the description below, but this is probably one of the biggest mistakes people make, and it's so easy to predict whether a product is trending or not. So for example, what I mean by gimmicky products. So earlier in 2017, there were a ton of people trying to sell fidget spinners, and you guys remember obviously that whole fidget spinner trend. It blew up like crazy. People made a ton of money for a couple months, and then suddenly it died, and people were left with tens of thousands of units of fidget spinners, and they lost a ton of money because they were predicting that they were going to keep selling all these units, they were going to keep making all this money, except they didn't realize that it was just a trend. And when the fidget spinner trend died, people were stuck with hundreds of thousands of units, like actually hundreds of thousands of units. I've seen it happen that they invested into in inventory, and they had to like sell it below break-even price. They had to lose a lot of money just to get rid of it, right? Then we've got restricted products, and it's actually very easy to tell which products are restricted or not because they keep showing up on Jungle Scout. They look so good because they've got an insane amount of revenue and they've got like no reviews, very low reviews, and suddenly you see it and instantly dollar signs flash in your head and you're like, oh my god, I need to do this, right? But there's actually a very easy way to make sure that the product that you're going to invest into is not restricted, and that involves calling Amazon. You can actually just call Amazon seller support and you can ask them, give them a competitor's ASIN, so give them a couple ASINs of the product that you want to do, and literally ask them this: am I able to fulfill this by Amazon? Am I able to fulfill this by Amazon Prime? So make sure you get email proof to your email. They'll send you email proof saying that yes, I told them that it was good, it was not restricted. Even then though, the representatives at Amazon, not all of them actually know what's restricted or not, and I've seen it happen where somebody, like a rep, told a person that the product wasn't restricted and it turned out to be restricted. I've personally saved like tens of thousands of dollars already for the students in my course because tons of them, obviously when they see a product that looks so good and they don't know it's restricted, they send me the product, and then I already know it's restricted because there are certain products on there that are restricted. And then we've got gimmicky products, so products that have no real solution to any target market's problem. Any products that are just like a joke. They don't really solve anything, okay? And like the billionaire Warren Buffett said, you always want to go long, and the way that I teach Amazon in these videos on my channel here is the best way to do it because it's sustainable. You actually build a brand, and like I always say, the brands that are being built right now, it's literally the Wild West on Amazon right now because in the Wild West, the small time guy can actually become something big because most of Amazon, 90% of them have no idea what they're doing. They have crap listings, they're selling restricted products, they're losing tons of money, they don't know what they're doing, they're not running PPC, they're not running launches, no giveaways, and tons of people are looking for get rich quick gimmicky products, and that just won't work. You might make some money for the first month before you get either deleted, your listing deleted, banned, or whatever it is, right? Or the product just dies down. Then we've got seasonal products, and I show how to check seasonal products in the course, in the Amazon Freedom course, and I think I show it in some of the videos on this channel as well, so you guys can check those out as well. So mistake number 4, and I actually just made a video about this mistake, and that's only asking for one shipping invoice and just one invoice in general from your supplier. And this is super, super important. If you only talk to one supplier, you're basically leveraging your whole Amazon business onto one supplier, and that's obviously very bad. It's not abundant. You're not having this abundance mentality, like, you know, if one supplier tries to screw you, or if one supplier tries to scam you, or you don't like the price they're giving you, then, you know, you have like 4 other suppliers lined up already with invoices ready to go. So that's how I want you guys to do this. So I actually just made a video on this. It's the video, I think it's a couple days ago, like, don't get scammed. Basically what I advise people is you always want to speak to at least 4 or 5 suppliers, and you always want to get 4 or 5 invoices. That way you can like literally have them, you know, open up different tabs in Google Chrome and with all the invoices, and you can compare like, okay, you know, the shipping here is high, the shipping here is low. That's why you want to talk to like 4 or 5 suppliers when you're going to choose a product. You're going to have all the invoices open. So right away, as soon as you start talking to them, ask them for an invoice to your email. Open all of the invoices up from all the suppliers, and that way you can kind of get an idea for the average shipping cost, you know, who's scamming you, you know, who's being legit, and things like that. So mistake number 5, and you know, you guys would be surprised at the amount of sellers and at the amount of bad listings on Amazon. So mistake number 5 is having a terrible listing, not running PPC, not having amazing pictures, action shots, things like that, you know, of the product actually being in use. Maybe if it's a beauty product, you know, a picture with a model, things like that. And you would be surprised at how many listings there are, and they're still making money. They're still making money. That's proof that, you know, the people that are actually taking Amazon seriously, for example, you're watching this video, and the people that are taking courses and things like that that are actually putting in the effort and the time and the investment, they're the ones that are going to win, especially in 2018. And I show how to create an amazing listing, how to create amazing PPC campaigns, have amazing pictures, all of that stuff I show on this channel. There's just an abundance of absolutely amazing content, so you guys can check all that stuff out. Another crucial mistake, and I know it's mistake number 6, but I have to add it because it's just crucial. A lot of people, a lot of new sellers make this mistake. A lot of new entrepreneurs fall for this. Ordering too little units. And I don't know why. I think it's because people are limited on capital, or they don't want to take the risk, right? Rewards only come to those who go all in. And I'm not saying go all in. You know, you don't have to necessarily order 1,000 units as your first order, but you know, when I see people ordering like 100 units or 50 units, and I've seen that when people order like 100 units and they try to throw it up on Amazon, and then they're complaining in the Facebook group or whatever that they're not making any money, you know, they have to realize that your product won't sell if you don't do the proper steps, if you don't, you know, run a giveaway, if you don't launch it, things like that, if you don't run PPC. That's why I always recommend you to add on more units, order a higher test order, maybe, you know, at least I would say 250 or 300 units at the very least. I would go for a 500 or 600 unit test order. That gives you enough time, you know, if you're starting to sell well, then you can actually have enough time to like notify your supplier to start making the next batch and order a larger order. The thing is, look, if you don't have a lot of money to start, and let's say you only order 100 units, okay? It comes into Amazon, and you know, best case scenario, you start selling amazingly, right? Let's say you gave away, because the standard for a giveaway is 10 units for 3 days. So let's say you gave away 30 units. Now you have 70. So the best case scenario, literally the best possible case scenario is, you know, you're selling, let's say 50 a day or 40 a day. Okay, you're out of stock in 2 days, or you're out of stock in 4 days, or 1 week. That's, you know, you're gonna be out of stock for an extended period of time, for like weeks at a time. And basically Amazon's gonna decrease your sales rank while you're out of stock. The longer you're out of stock, the worse it is for your listing. And you might actually run a chance that you might have to run another giveaway again for your next order. That's why you wanna minimize the amount of time that you're out of stock. So don't be afraid of risk, okay? If you follow the correct steps, if you're watching these videos, it's a great sign. So don't be afraid of risk. I would go for at least, you know, 300, 400, 500 units. If you're sure that a product is gonna do well, if you're like, okay, I have an amazing feeling about this, go for the 1,000 units. And you know, there are countless of success stories that have done 1,000 units as their first order, and it gives them more than enough time to reorder the next batch. And here's the last mistake that I see so many people do, and it's not having a logo or a brand. You know, sometimes people get lazy. They don't want to, you know, pay for a logo or pay for, you know, a good box design. So they literally just use like, you know, they literally just take the product from Alibaba, from the Chinese supplier, you know, with their shitty Chinese design, and they just try to sell it on Amazon. There's tons of these people doing it, and you know, they're usually making a good amount of money because nobody is trying to compete with them. If one person was to actually brand it and follow the, you know, the videos that I make here, if one person actually followed that in these particular niches, they would destroy them because these box designs look like crap. They have no logos. Basically, the whole premise is you want to, you know, look the furthest away you can from being a cheap Chinese, you know, seller, because there's a ton of them and they don't really have good marketing skills. They can't really brand anything. They don't, you know, they don't have good English skills. They can't really write amazing bullet points and an amazing description, things like that. That's where you come in. That's why you want to market it perfectly, right? You take the product, you market it perfectly, you brand it perfectly. So anyway guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and these are like literally the top mistakes. If you don't make these mistakes, I guarantee like your chance of succeeding on Amazon and making 6 figures this year on Amazon has gone up like, I would say like 75% just from these mistakes if you don't make them, all right? So I hope you guys enjoyed this video and see the value, because these mistakes have cost a lot of people thousands and thousands of dollars. And when you're starting out as an entrepreneur, and when I was starting out, I was like cleaning windows, you know, for me, every $100 that I would lose, for me, that would be like 1 hour or, a couple hours of my manual labor. Like I'd have to go and like actually physically clean these windows. So, when you're stuck in that kind of, when you're still kind of like broke and you're still selling your time for money, your money is your time, your money is your life, right? So obviously when you're starting out, the more you lose, the more you have to, work using your physical labor and, selling your time and things like that. That's why I want to get you guys to financial freedom. That's why I want to get you guys to the good life, to health, wealth, love, and happiness, and to truly live your dreams, whatever it is, travel, whatever you want. So anyway, these mistakes are the biggest mistakes. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Join the Amazon Freedom Entrepreneurs Facebook group. It's completely free. I'm on there. I answer people's questions. The link for that is in the description below. It's the absolute best group of motivated individuals that are interested in selling on Amazon and that are actually doing it. So yeah, join that up. Reach out to me on social media, Instagram and Snapchat. That stuff is down below as well. And subscribe to the channel. I'll see you guys soon. Peace.